Well, so yesterday was a nice day. Today we got blowing snow everywhere. It's a perfect day for planting the garden, thinking about gardening. So here we go. Another great day in the state of Georgia. It's great. Well, that little scene and intro there from the snowstorm that we had uh, 2 weeks in a row, believe it or not, here in Georgia. But that little snowstorm that we had lasted all day long Saturday. We got a total of 3 inches on the ground. You can see some of these pictures here. But 3 days later, 4 days later, all gone. We're 50-something degrees today. That big roller coaster ride that starts this time of year down south, 3 or 4 days in cold, 3 or 4 days in rain. So here we are, back to the garden, and use that time, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to do planting, and I'm planning being the kinds of sitting there figuring out what's going to go where, and what am I going to do in those beds behind me over there. I've uncovered half of them, and the other half has still got the tarps on them. But yeah, as we start looking at crops, I've got a printout that I'm sitting in my office working on it this week while it's been cold and snowy and ice everywhere and couldn't get out. So I've come up with my plan for the garden, and I'll share that with you here. Take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it in detail. This is how I do my layouts and what I'm going to plant where. Okay, we're going to take a look at the garden and see what we got live here. Of course, we got the chickens helping me out and running around wanting to be narrators. But this side, we just took the tarps off, so I can show you sort of the beds. The black tarps you see are the walkways. So the beds are the parts of the where the dirt is showing. And these first row right here, we're going to be planting some purple hull peas in that row where the chickens are right now helping us out. That one, and then you got the walkway, and then you got another row of purple hull peas, and that's what we'll be doing there. Then you skip on over to this section, and this will be a bed of flowers right here beside the chickens. Y'all gonna come on along and keep showing me where we're at. And after the flowers, we're going to be planting a big tall bed of ochre right here in the middle. And that'll be my Clemson spineless. Then another walkway. And then right next to that, we're going to plant our tomatoes with a tomato trellis. And so that'll be that. Then again, another walkway. And then after the tomatoes, we get down to our last 2 beds on this side, and this will be our corn, and we're going to do sweet corn. And at least I've got chickens to worry about, but that's it. And they will be put away when it gets planting season, so they can't get out here and dig up seeds and new sprouts and all that kind of stuff. But just as we talked about that corn, that was the last row on that front half of the garden, so I swinging the camera around and showing you this back half has still got the tarps on it. And of course the girls are over here now. Since I'm going that way, they want to go out and get all this water and where the puddles are from the ice melting or snow melting the other day. But anyway, so we got the 2 halves, and that's the way it's going to be here for this. And I got a quick story talking about the corn I want to tell you, share with you. Speaking of corn, but one year I did plant some corn in a raised bed, and I had 2 rows of about 15 or 20 feet, and then a walkway, and then another raised bed of 2 rows, 15 or 20 feet. I think I've got a picture here. Probably put it up and show you one of those. And it was up nice and tasseled like you see in the picture here. And I went to the store and came back, and somebody in the area cows had got out, and there were 4 cows in my 2 beds of corn, and they had demolished it, ate every bit of it. All of it was laying on the ground.
I had to get out there and chase the cows out and then try to find out whose they were. You know, it was just my loss, but I learned you can't take it for granted just because you plant it, it looks good, you think you're gonna have it made. Nah, some days it just don't work. So all you can do is just keep trying, and one year it'll work great, one year it won't, but that's no reason to give up. You got to get yourself encouraged and keep going. And that's what we try to do here. Just so you'll share your stories with me. Let me know if you've ever had any experiences like that. But planting a garden and sitting there as I do the planting, of course, I remember all this stuff, and having those memories is excellent. It's great. And I love doing that. And it's just all part of it. It brings it back to me. And that's part of gardening. And you get to share all that, all the stories, all the fun and all the planting. But when I showed you how I got 2 beds and the other half of the garden is still covered, I will plant those same things again on this other half that's covered up, for the most part anyway. I won't do another 2 beds of corn. I'm going to do some lima beans over there. But anyway, that's kind of my garden layout, and that's where I'm going to with it this year. And I hope you stick in there with me and see the rest of this video. Well, I hope you got something out of this video today. Again, you know, planting is key, and this is the time of year to be planting. It's almost time to start my seed sprouts. I haven't done too much with seed starting, so I'm going to try that again this year and see what I can do with that. But you know, if that don't work, that's fine. I can always fall back on buying something that's already been done at a nursery, so I don't worry too much about it. It's just a learning process. But we'll have to just kind of follow along and see how we go this year and what we can get done. But the biggest thing right this minute is figuring out what's going to go where, what am I going to plant, what do we want to eat, and see what we can get done with that. We still have things in the freezer from last year, so I don't need to go planting, you know, 10 times more than I'm needing, because I don't have room in the freezer to keep putting them in there. But it's great. That's part of gardening. It's the good parts, the bad parts, the fun parts, and those parts that make you want to just sit down and cry sometimes. But all in all, it's a great hobby to have. It's a great source of activity to have. And it's a great way to be encouraged in your life and what you do. I've always heard and I've always read the people that have some of the most hopeful in the world are gardeners, because you put that seed in the ground and you hope and you pray it comes up. And you just never know. But we still plant, we still try, and we still pray about it all, and we look forward to a good crop and a good harvest every year. And so I'm going to leave it with that today, and I appreciate you guys being here with me. And my name's Don, if I forgot to tell you. And if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe and follow along with me. We're just now getting to the point of having put something in the ground and start a garden for this year. So we'll just keep doing some flashbacks here and there during the season here when it's not a whole lot going on. But right now, again, I appreciate you being with me, and I will see you guys in the next one.